I'm David Ramogi. I'm a chef and a manager at Black Forest, and I still do music.
I'm Sabrina Ramogi. I'm a lawyer and also a musician. And
This is
our dream wedding. Twende tukamsifu huyu Bwana, ametutendea makuu sana. Twende tukamsifu huyu Bwana, ametutendea makuu sana. Ametutendea makuu sana.
Coming soon. I'm David Ramogi. Something I've never told people a lot is I'm half Nigerian, half Kenyan. I was born in the UK, but I was raised in Kenya. Yeah, so I've lived all my life in Nairobi. My father passed on, but I have a father, my in-law. I've been that person without a father's love. And I would say this, it's not easy. It's not easy. Growing up without a father's love is not easy, but for me, I was like, you know what, I want to do something. I want to do a church wedding. I want people to see what God has done. And waiting. I've really waited, man. And 4 years plus. Yeah, I was just waiting. And I was just telling God, you know what? I think it just needs to come out. Yeah. You know, God orders his steps, as in my steps. So he actually did that and I actually met her. But it was a long process.
Oh, I'm from Malindi. I'm a Giriama. And yeah, I've studied law. Yes, I play drums in my church, and yeah, so that's me.
Waiting on God for the right person to come your way wasn't so easy. Yeah, so I had to wait. And I remember my years in selling my music out on the streets. I used to pray for people, pray for even the relationships, and most of them worked out. And for me, I'm like, God, where's my own? Where's my own? And eventually it came. I'd recorded an album, a mini album, 5-track CD. And I decided, you know what? I took my music to the media, but it wasn't being played. So I decided, let me try something different. So I started selling my music, actually at Prestige. From there, because guys weren't happy about my progress, and for me it was favor of God. I wasn't paying rent, I wasn't doing anything. A couple of people decided, you know what, let's just get this guy out. And so I was kicked out. But I didn't know it was God's plan. So for me, I left. And I didn't leave with a bitter heart. And so I went down into Nairobi CBD. That was actually 2010. And I started selling my music from the streets. It wasn't easy. Sometimes you get to a point where if you come at 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way down to, I think 1, 2, 3 is when you start selling. Oh yeah, and God just worked out something, and that's how people started buying my music. But for me, it was actually also ministering to people on the streets. I was living in a house somewhere on Naivasha Road, and that's where I would go back home, rest, and wait for the next morning. So I used to do it from Monday to Saturday. Sunday is my free day. I have to go to church. Yeah. When I started music, my mom wasn't really happy about me starting music and the direction I was going through. But for me, I did it anyway. It's following your heart. And in the way of doing what I was doing, it took me to Bible school. Did a degree in theology, and was amazing. So much later is when now my family now started helping me out here and there, yeah. I'm 34. 34, yes. Maybe to some people, it's a later date. For me, it's not. It's actually the beginning of my time now, yeah.
Wow, he's my son. If you see us together, you will know he's my son. He's not a son-in-law. Yeah. You know, like traditionally, you're not supposed to hug your son-in-law or have a close conversation. But guess what? He's so my son. I can't even explain it. He's warm, he's kind, and he's a gentleman. I'm sure you've met him, and he's, for somebody to serve God consistently every day at a certain time, you know where to find him, and never getting tired of just ministering to people, whether they like it or not. Some people have insulted him, but he knew who he's serving, the living God.
I had grown up in a home where we knew God, but it was just a lukewarm kind of thing. I got to a point I started to desire more. I was like, I feel like there's more. I don't want to just be a lukewarm Christian. And I prayed and I just told God, you know what, God, you just lead me to the right place, the right church. I want to know you more. I don't want to be a lukewarm Christian anymore. And I told God, I'm going to run so fast into you. The way I was lost, I'm going to run so fast into you. I need to find you. My life was a mess, a huge wreck. As in, you see, this Sabrina, this was not me then. Yeah, I had, wrong company around me, crazy people, if I may say, and yeah, so definitely, when you're hanging out with the wrong people, it rubs off on you. That's the truth of the matter, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So that's why I had to separate myself completely. And separating means I took out my SIM card and chopped it off. I was that serious. I had friends who were chasing after vanity. By vanity, I mean things that don't really matter. Mm-hmm. And because they were my friends, I had adopted some of those behaviors. Like going out, and doing all the wrong things, like getting high, so to speak. And I got to a point, I was like, there's more to life than this. This is not it, and I wanted to know how would Sabrina in the Lord be like. Definitely her life would be better, so why not? Let me try.
But you never know, true or false. There are those things you feel you don't want to tell your mother because she'll get hurt, or maybe she'll overreact to a situation. There are those things you don't want to hurt your mother, so you'll never know. Yeah, you'll never know. But I'm glad that even during those moments, I would be her friend, but I think there were moments when she would tell me this and not tell me that, which I respect because I guess I also went through the same. You understand? But today I feel like we came to a point whereby we had a conversation. We opened up to each other, as an adult now. Now she's looking at me like, Mom, I really need you as my friend here. Yeah.
I started to pray for a Boaz. I told God, I want a Boaz. I don't want anything less. I want a man who loves you, a man who is focused on you. Everything else will come, but just give me that. And I waited. I waited for about 2 years, and God began to speak about my husband. Like, God speaks. God is real. The first sign God gave me was my husband is not a lawyer. Believe you me, there's an advocate who asked me to marry him. I remember they said no. The second sign God gave me, he said, my husband does not drive yet. I was like, okay. So this guy comes in a Prado. He's interested. But I knew this is not the one. And I continued to wait. Then I came across an interview he did as I watched it, like 5 minutes into the interview, I was already crying. Number one, I cried because I saw a man of God who is ministering in a very harsh environment, circumstances. It's not easy, but he keeps going every day. I was like, wow. And I felt I need to encourage him and I need to pray for him. I didn't have his number, so I Googled him. And then I prayed for him and I was done. I deleted his number. That's it.
And when she called me and prayed for me, that really touched my heart. That somebody out there is actually seeing what I'm doing and can be able to, pray for me. And that gave me the encouragement to even just go out there again and sell music again.
He started to text me slowly. He became my friend. I asked him what he was doing. He tells me he's writing a song. I was like, oh, you're writing a song. I was so excited. Okay, I love to write. I love to sing. So that spot just moved me. And I decided, let me send him something I've done before, just for him to listen. So he sent it to his producer. I continued.
Later, my producer will tell me, let her come and do a vocal part of a song we've just done. And that's how it started.
There was no juggling of like, so who is it? What does he do? No, God has said it and everything falls into place. It's like, I usually like to use this line. It's like God fixes the puzzle. Everything just goes into place. There was nothing like trying to convince dad or, maybe somebody would be thinking, so your daughter is a lawyer, who is this guy? It was nothing like that. It was so good and God did everything.
One of our friends was like, Sabrina, I need to ask you, you're diva-ish. And this guy, as in how? And I'm like, when you're after God's heart and when you desire his will to be done, you stop thinking about yourself. You stop thinking about what other people are thinking. Your focus here is what God is saying. And for me, God is giving me his perfect will. He's not giving me acceptable. Acceptable will is where, okay, this is what you want, sawa basi. It's not his will, but he's just allowed you because that's what you really want. Me, I wanted God's perfect will. And God's perfect will is my Ramogi. Then, yes, why not?
So this day I woke up at 5. I woke up. We went around the house when everybody was asleep. We're just praying and thanking God for that day. I remember when she dressed, I called my mom. And apparently when I was young, I also wanted a doll dress. So I told my mom, look at how beautiful she is. And at that moment, I got emotional, just a bit. But knowing that God is in control, they waited upon the Lord. And they respected themselves during that courtship. Knowing that God is in control, knowing that any mother would be so blessed and honored when their daughter comes to them and say, Mom, this is the guy, I want to get married. In church, for me, I guess I did it with pleasure. And then knowing that I've gotten a son and not just a son-in-law, I'm at peace.
My mom actually dressed me. She dressed me and she was just praying over me, with love, telling me she loves me. We're just bonding. Had a moment with her. It was so special. I think that was really special for me because she's my mom. She's my friend. I don't think everyone has that, So for me, I felt, oh gosh, this is beautiful. Yeah, my girl, she's dressing me. Yeah, it was really nice. My dad was smiling and staring at me. Like, wow, mama. Yeah. Wow, it's actually really happening. I was looking forward, so excited and anxious at the same time. It felt like a dream come true. Like I was looking at myself and the way it's so so princess, and I was like, oh my God, wow. My mom was in the room. She was so emotional. She was looking pink, literally. My grandmother, my sister. It was like, wow, God is so good. He's so faithful. And every time he starts something, he has to finish it. He's so true, you know. So I was feeling, wow, I'm walking in God's promises, you know. I was so happy. My hair being done, my makeup, I'm like, I'm not watching a YouTube video. It's me. That's how I was feeling.
I was excited. I was nervous. It just hit me, and I'm going to be a husband. And wow, it was amazing. I had friends, my groomsmen, who were just encouraging me, telling me, "Man, it's going to be awesome." So just think about the awesome day it's going to be. Don't look at how people have come late and that stuff, because it would really give you pressure and that stuff. So it was awesome. I loved it.
Where I was packed in such a way I could see everything. I saw my bridesmaids were looking amazing. I was so happy. They were all dressed in orange and black and gold. Their hairs were done, their makeup, and okay, I thought they looked alike, and that was amazing. And then I see the guys walking, and then David, you were the last one. I was like, wow. It's gonna be my husband. He was looking so handsome and tall. His hair done well, he's shaved, looking white and clean. Okay, I had a tear at that moment. I had a tear. I was like, that's my Ramogi. So I see him, he's in his tanners, he's looking good, and I was like, wow.
But
I just told God, Lord, I thank you for my husband. Yeah, so excited. I thought I was dreaming. I really did.
standards, and I'm seeing her walking down the aisle, and I'm like, wow. I was balancing tears, by the way. I didn't remove them because I think I had a napkin, and I would just, like, I want to wipe my face, but I'm also touching and moving. She was looking gorgeous. And then the tail was so long, like, wow. Till the outside.
I know, 17 meters. And my mom was supportive about it, so yeah. I went ahead.
It was amazing. It was just amazing, yeah.
I was nervous. I wasn't sure if I was, walking okay, but I think I was. And the best part was when my parents, because I entered, I walked like 2 steps, and then they came and stood beside me. So I held my mom's hand, I held my dad. My mom is telling me how I'm so beautiful. My dad is just smiling at me. He's not saying anything. My mom is asking me, are you okay? I'm like, I was filled with joy. Just walk slowly. Heart was racing. I wanted to run, but we just walked slowly, It was so nice. He was just smiling at me.
I had butterflies. And in my head, I'm thinking, may I say what the bishop is saying? I don't say my own things. And then there's a part where I said, I do. I said it, I do, and everybody started laughing. I'm wondering why people are laughing. It's just the way I said it, like, yes, I do. But it was amazing. And then seeing her saying back the same words back to me, oh, it just touched my heart. Yeah.
With this ring, I do wed you, David Ramogi, to be my husband, the love of my heart. I will love you. All the.
So happy, and wow, it was so special.
And she was smiling throughout.
I was so happy. I think I wanted to even, burst out in laughter. But it was so special. It felt good. I don't know how to explain that. It felt so good. And even the part where we got to like drop down the ring, I was like, wow, it's actually really, really happening. I'm seeing him putting a ring on my finger, and I'm like, wow, thank you, Lord. It's not something you'll take for granted. Mm-hmm. And I of course I glanced quickly. I could see my brother, tough guy. Ian is a tough guy. But he was moved. My sister, my friends are screaming, It was a beautiful moment for me. Because, the way you always sit down, like, okay, when you're part of the congregation, you're watching bride and groom signing. I was actually there, and it's me who's signing. So I look at him, he signs, looking at his ring, I'm like, wow, my husband. So and I sign, I'm looking at my nails, my ring, and I'm like, Lord, I give you glory. It was wonderful, really. And then when I had to choose where to keep the certificate, I chose his sock.
She actually put it in my sock.
Yeah, I think most of all, I was looking for an opportunity to submit to him, to humble myself. So I knelt down, I folded it slowly and fixed it in his sock. Yeah. I think you felt nice.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Oh man, it's happening. Yeah, let's do this. It was actually an amazing experience. I think I signed the biggest signature ever. I think.
It's true. As in, I was like, hey, Kwani.
Yeah, but it was. My life changed or started changing. I had a couple of interviews on TV, and God was speaking. And the last interview I had with Kobe, and she asked me a question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Will you still be in the streets? And for me, it's something I've been saying, I've been prophesying into my life unknowingly. I'm like, I'll be here as long as God wants me to be here, but I know I won't be here for long. And it's something I kept on saying. And then Kev Mlay, DJ Kev, comes and tells me, Mogi, you've been here for quite a long time right now, 6 years. I see you moving from this spot and you're going somewhere different. And I'm like, God, I've taken that one. That one is mine. My mom-in-law came. I didn't know she was my mom-in-law. She asked me a question, would you really want to leave this place? Because I have this passion of cooking and other stuff, would you really want to leave this place? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay. And that's how I went off the street. I'll say I work for a bakery. Black Forest, yes, I work for Black Forest.
I'm very close to my mom. I think I tell her like everything. So I told her about, even before we met, I kind of hinted. And then after the meeting, I told her how it went. And she also saw a testimony, yeah. So I didn't know she was planning to go and see him, but that was surprising. It was also really nice. I felt she was concerned. She cares about me, yeah.
Costarians, hey, dancing, you will dance and dance and dance. Even if you didn't want to dance, you'll just dance. They came to receive us, and it was just amazing. It was quite a stretch. Hey, we danced and danced till the inside.
I was myself. I just allowed myself to have fun. Yeah.
She went down. She just danced nicely, and I was like, wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun, and then we had one of the noisiest guys in our group, Bire. He just came in and started dancing, and we were following the routine. It was just amazing. Yeah. Alice Kamande came through. She did 2 songs. Then there was Neno. And then there were 2 kids who did a poem. Oh, lovely. And then Rosie Ohon actually did a song. Now she's the one who finished. Now, funny enough, I never talked to Rosie Ohon what to do. She just said she was going to come. And she did a song that we like. What's that song?
You are Alpha and Omega.
She sang it, and I was balancing tears, by the way. We were just
and
sitting in
this time
front
he had no stammer, so I saw the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was her song, and she did it. And then she added a Kiswahili song, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. It was just awesome, yeah. No, they came to support us. They came to support us. They're like, you know what, you're getting married, we're coming. People who had schedules and canceled their schedules to come for the wedding. That was just amazing.
I don't want to start giving you any other advice. You'll be given lots of advice. I think from here, it's only safe to say, from here, please, take all that you've been told in the right perspective, and God will bless you.
Not worried because Black Forest House, best cakes in town. I mean, what can you say? And the CEO, founder, my mom. So I was not worried really about the cake at all. I knew, yeah, I'm sorted 100%.
When it was my daughter's wedding, I was like, this is not just going to be the ordinary tiered cake or a cake spread around. So I said, like, what? You know, we are so used to having it on the table. So this time it's going to it's going to fall from the ceiling. You know, it took a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, I started planning this like from the time she says, Mom, I'm going to get married. So I just started planning that cake. I'm a cake person. Let it stand out. You understand? We can do it. We can do anything. Cake is creativity. Cake is an art. So let it be something that will be remembered for. And guess what? Nobody has done it in Kenya. Nobody has done it in Africa. Nobody. So it took a lot of teamwork. It was a lot of sleepless nights. You know, you should see me waking up at night, drawing a sketch. How possible is this going to be? How is it going to drop off from the ceiling? You know, yeah, things like that. So it was well, and I think I liked everything. They personally wanted a night event so that we could bring out the light effect. So all that together, the cake is dropping down. Wow, I was so excited. And I said, yes, yes, that is it. Why should it be plastic? It was a real cake. Yes, it was a real cake. All that. Your wedding day, you don't repeat it. So when you come out, let's not use the word. You know what you confess is what you possess. Sina, Haitoshi. Oh, don't go for second. Just do it. Go out. What do you want? Go out. Is it your dress? Is it the food? Is it the venue? Is it your event organizer? Just go out for the best. Okay? Because sometimes you need to spend just a bit more for the best. And it is okay. It's your day. Yeah.
We walk in, we dance, I see the cake. It was right beside our stage, so it was looking nice. Then time to cut the cake. So we come down from the stage where we were seated and we go to the cake. And we're about to cut the cake. And then we have to wait. And you see lights and what's that flying camera called?
The drone.
I'm seeing a drone flying all over, and then lights, you know, and then I'm seeing a grand. What? I think I can say my cake came from heaven. Literally, it just came down slowly. I was in awe. I'm fighting tears. I'm screaming. I'm trying to compose myself. So we go towards it, and it was so nice.
Wow. Everybody stood up to see. It was amazing.
And then there was
like a dance floor.
like a smoky-ish feel all over.
And then the lights.
You know, I couldn't help myself. I started dancing around my cake. I'm like, I think I looked like a 10-year-old. I was so excited. People with, you know, phones.
Cameras.
Guys were excited. But I think I was super excited. My eyes were just fixed on the cake. No one saw that coming.
Black Forest did an amazing job with the cake. They did. That one, never seen anywhere. It was a first.